What if the person you're becoming has been waiting behind the words you never said? For the longest time, I didn't ask myself that question because I didn't think a voice I'd never used could lead me anywhere new. I believed that a part of me was always meant to stay invisible. I didn't even know it existed because I spent all my life in silence, shrinking behind the shadows of others, convincing myself that my thoughts, my opinions, my very own voice didn't matter. I believed that staying quiet was safer, that if I didn't speak, I couldn't be wrong. I had set such low expectations for myself because I truly believed I didn't have the potential or the capability. I always compared myself to my classmates, measuring myself against their confidence, their achievements, and their voices. My problem was that I was trying to become them, when in reality, I should have been trying to become myself. I was a little girl who feared the spotlight. Classrooms felt like battlegrounds, and any task that required me to speak in front of others made my heart race and my hands tremble. The voices in my head, doubts, insecurities, judgments, they were deafening. I was so self-conscious about what others thought that I had avoided participation entirely. My mind had convinced me that my opinions were wrong, that my voice was a weakness, that confidence was something other people were born with, not me. I still remember when I tried to raise my hand in class to answer a question. I rehearsed a sentence in my head 10 times, then 20. And when I finally said it out loud, I mispronounced the word architecture so badly that even I wasn't sure what came out of my mouth. Moments like that convinced me that my voice just wasn't meant for the world, that it was safer inside my head. And so, I stayed quiet. I lived in the shadows of louder people, people who seemed certain and unafraid, while I carried this belief that being silent was safer than being wrong. Then, in 7th grade, something unexpected happened. My mother suggested that I run for prefect. My first thought was disbelief. Me, how could I possibly be suitable for this role? I can barely even speak 3 words without breaking into a sweat. But she insisted, gently pushing me, refusing to let my fear dictate my path. And before I knew it, I was submitting my application, trembling yet determined. Well, somewhat determined. On the day of the campaign, I was terrified. Standing there, looking at a crowd of faces, I felt my old fear starting to rise again, whispering that I would fail. And yet, the moment I began my speech, something shifted. The voices in my head quietened. I stopped thinking about the pair of eyes that seemed to be scrutinizing me and focused only on my words and on myself. And when the results were announced, when I learned that I had won, something extraordinary happened. That tiny voice inside me, the one whispering, "You can do this," overwhelmed all the others that said I couldn't. And from that day on, that voice grew louder. I started participating in class, gradually learning that even if I was wrong, it didn't diminish my worth. Mistakes weren't failures. They were lessons waiting to be discovered. My father always told me, it's okay to make mistakes. And only then did I truly realize what he meant, that every misstep is a gain in disguise, a chance to grow, a step towards the person we were meant to become. Then, in 8th grade, another opportunity presented itself, a poetry competition. Writing had always been a part of me, but performing, now that was terrifying. My anxiety threatened to hold me back, but I remembered the prefect's speech, where my heart raced, my hands trembled, and my knees buckled. I remembered what it felt like to speak despite the fear, and yet I participated. And when I learned that I had won first place, I realized something profound. My voice mattered. My words could resonate. My ideas could inspire others. I was gradually learning the power that I had been denying myself for years. And this journey didn't stop there. I began taking risks, joining the drama club, performing in front of audiences, stepping further into spaces that once terrified me. And each time, that fear lingered. But it no longer ruled me. I stopped measuring myself against the expectations of others and focused only on my own growth and my own voice. I began to see the world differently, not through the lens of fear, but with curiosity, courage, and possibility. Instead of seeing the glass half empty, I learned to see it half full, full of potential, full of opportunity, and full of voices waiting to be heard, including my own. What I've realized is confidence is not a switch you flip overnight. It is a series of choices, small, deliberate acts of bravery that accumulate over time. It is choosing to speak when your voice shakes. It is choosing to perform when your heart pounds. It is choosing to try even when the fear of failure seems unbearable. And most importantly, it is choosing to believe that your voice is worth listening to, even when you're not sure that anyone else ever will. I share this story not because I'm extraordinary, but because I know many of you sitting here have felt the same way I did. You've hidden parts of yourself out of fear, silence, or self-doubt. And maybe, just maybe, the person you are meant to become has been waiting behind the words you haven't yet said. Perhaps that idea, that truth, that voice you've been too afraid to express is exactly what the world needs. Not when you feel ready, not one day, but now. Thank you.